But one thing I do know, this one's a rendering. 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 Many of you have seen these pictures before in many magazines and publications. This one's a rendering. This one's a rendering. This one's a rendering. And this one. And this one. They're all renderings. Who would know? One thing I do know is that things have changed. Things have changed a lot. In the last 8 years, many things have changed. It used to be that a car design studio would make 9 full-size clays just to step back and look and go, I don't like any of those, I like that one. Today, car studios are making small models, 10th scale, quarter scale models, and then augmenting that with lots of digital imagery. It used to be that you had to hold something in your hand before you'd buy it. Buy something on the web, forget about it. But today, with Amazon one click, just push a button and you own it. Just like that. You don't need to buy it, you don't need to hold it, you don't need to touch it. How many of you used eBay Autos, bought a car on eBay without ever seeing it? I have. One thing that's really cool is that any of you can make pictures like this. It's that simple. And in fact, just recently a student made a picture that has really changed everything. So I thought I'd walk you through how this works. It's actually so simple. A photographer takes a photo. It gets loaded into software as a background image. You import your CAD model, which can come from any source, any type of CAD software. You have a palette of materials, metals, plastics, paints, digital materials that represent the materials that are in reality, and you just simply drag and drop. And you paint your car, you color it up. And within a few seconds, moving it around and positioning it in the scene, it looks real. Throw in a little Photoshop for some depth of field, throw on some ad, or ipsilatus, or whatever it is, but you throw in some words, and you've got an ad. Next thing you know, it's in a magazine. Is it real, or is it rendered? It's so simple, we designed this to be used on a touch screen. And this is our chief engineer, who just walks up and starts using it. We were at a trade show in Korea a few weeks back, and we had high school design students walk up to the screen and basically push us out of the way and say, let me try that. And they started using this software like they've used it all their life. You don't have to tell a young person how to do this. This is a really interesting thing. Many of you may have seen this picture. This is a design student from the University of Cincinnati who posted some pictures on the web of a concept of the 2012, what he called the 2012 Corvette. And soon after, rampant speculation in the press of saying, is this the 2012 Corvette? 1.7 million Google hits now if you type in student and Corvette. All in just a few days. This is unimaginable just a few days, a few years ago, a few weeks ago even. But what does this mean to the industry? That's the question. What does it mean to General Motors, who is about to come out with a new 2012 Corvette? What if people like this one better than the one they just designed? This has a serious, serious impact to our business, and means that how long will it be before people want to design their own cars? People are in it now. When you see people in the car picture, wait a minute. This student is making pictures that rival any photographer. But it's not such a bad thing. Photographers can use this too. It's a great time to be a designer, actually. I think it's the best time to be a designer. Because if you can sketch, if you can dream, if you can imagine, if you are inspired to have something new that changes the world, that has a new concept, you've got a better opportunity now than ever before to get yourself heard. This is another little interesting story I stumbled on a couple weeks ago. With a sketch, you can post your project on the web on a thing called crowdsourcing. Have you guys heard of crowdsourcing? You can post your project, and within 24 hours, you'll have bids from all over the world on building your CAD model. You'll get them from Singapore, and from China, and from Hungary, and from Croatia. Young, hungry designers, modelers, CAD engineers, people who want to be able to build stuff, who will build a CAD model for you for almost nothing. So if you've got a sketch, you can get a CAD model built. And if you can get a CAD model built, you can make a rendering. And if you can make a rendering, you can make it look exactly like a photograph. And if you can make a photograph, you can describe how that works. You can add imagery. Oh, it comes apart. It goes together. Everything looks like a photo, so make lots of them. And guess what can happen then? If any of you have heard of this website called Kickstarter, this is a place you can post your project and ask for people to donate you money for a purpose. In this case, this project was posted by a guy named, let me get his name right, Scott Wilson from the company's Minimal Design. They posted this project and asked for donations of $15,000. And what you get for your donation of 50 bucks is you get essentially a pre-order of this watch. It's kind of a cool thing. You click in an iPod Nano and it becomes a watch. So within a week, there was $100,000 pledged. 2 weeks, $200,000. 3 weeks, $500,000. And at the end of the month, $941,000 were pledged, with over 13,000 people pre-ordering a watch they've never seen before. Besides looking at a rendering. They've never held that product. This is a radical shift, guys. A radical shift. And it's empowering to all you designers. Think of it. You've got a great idea. All you do is make a YouTube video like this guy did, describing what's the passion, the vision behind what you created, how it's going to change the world, how great it is, why you did it, and inspire people to click down their money. And in this thing, you pay through Amazon. Boom. Amazon one-click order. I want that. 50 bucks. And now if you go to this website, you'll see that he's posting his journeys around the world, trying to get it actually built. You know, a little blog post, I'm in Shanghai right now, trying to figure out how I'm going to find this, get this thing manufactured. Oh, by the way, it's going to deliver 2 weeks later than I thought, but it's still coming, just have patience. This is a whole new way of building. It used to be that you had to design something, build a prototype, manufacture a photographic version of that product, then begin to, and then manufacture it, put it out to sell. But now you can design it, market it, sell it, and then build it with a radical cut in initial startup costs. And this digital imagery that you're seeing, these renderings, are now everywhere. It used to be that a 360 of a car sat way down on the website in a little tiny box. But now they're moving to the home page. This is a fantastic example of how rendering can inspire, make you feel for that vehicle. This is probably the best example I've seen of an interactive 360 on the web, where you can change the color and you see the car in motion with smoke coming out of the back. You can change the color, you can change the environment. This is essentially what we were showing back in 2003. And this, for all intents and purposes, this could be a photo, this could be a rendering, but it's neither. It's a screenshot from Microsoft's Forza 4 coming out in November. This is a video game. So what's next? How are we going to be inspired to go even further, to take it further than we ever have been before? Because it's not about just making a picture. We all have 8-megapixel camera phones, right? We can all take a picture. But what makes a photograph? What makes it the essence of the emotion and the passion behind that object that gets conveyed in a photo? That's where it takes it. So we've got to push ourselves to the limits, push the boundaries, and input that emotion into the image that you're making. That's what our software allows you to do. And these digital displays are proliferating like crazy. I'm sure many of you got a new HD 55-inch Vizio 3D stereo television that you put in your living room that costs you about $1,400. What a change. And you go to Cobo halls and they're blasting, 60-foot screens, blasting videos and animations and renderings, and